The fluorescent lights of the Walmart superstore flickered ominously as I pushed my shopping cart down the empty aisle. It was well past midnight, and I was on the night shift, tasked with restocking the shelves in preparation for the next day's onslaught of shoppers. The store was eerily quiet, the only sounds being the occasional beep of the price scanner and the hum of the refrigerators. I had heard rumors about strange occurrences at this Walmart, stories whispered among the employees during break time. They said it was built on an old burial ground, or that it was haunted by the ghosts of disgruntled employees who had died on the job. I didn't believe in such nonsense, of course. It was just a job, and I needed the paycheck. As I reached the end of the aisle, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I turned around, but there was no one there. Just rows and rows of merchandise, all waiting to be restocked. I sighed, attributing the unease to the late hour and the eerie silence of the store. I continued down another aisle, stacking cans of soup on the shelves, when I heard it, a faint, muffled crying. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. The sound was coming from the direction of the toy section. I made my way there cautiously, pushing the cart ahead of me. The toy section was dimly lit, the shelves packed with dolls, action figures, and board games. And in the corner, I saw her, a little girl, no older than 6 or 7, sitting on the floor with her back to me. She was crying softly, her shoulders shaking with each sob. "Hey there, sweetie," I said gently, approaching her. "Are you lost?" The girl didn't respond, but her crying grew louder. I knelt down beside her and reached out to touch her shoulder. As soon as my fingers brushed her, she turned around, and I gasped in horror. Her face was twisted and contorted, a grotesque mask of agony. Her eyes were empty voids, devoid of any emotion or humanity. She opened her mouth, and a guttural, otherworldly sound escaped her lips. It was a sound that chilled me to my core, a sound I couldn't describe with words. I scrambled backward, my heart racing, and the girl crawled toward me, her movements unnatural and jerky. Panic welled up inside me as I realized that something was terribly wrong. This was no ordinary child. I stumbled to my feet and ran as fast as I could, leaving the cart and the haunted child behind. I didn't look back, and I didn't stop until I reached the employee break room. My co-workers were gathered there, and they all turned to look at me, their faces filled with concern. "What happened?" one of them asked. "I saw something," I stammered, struggling to catch my breath. "In the toy section. It was a girl, but she wasn't human. I don't know how to explain it." My co-workers exchanged worried glances, and then one of them, Sarah, spoke up. "You're not the first person to see something strange in this store," she said quietly. "There have been other incidents." I was incredulous. "Why didn't anyone tell me?" Sarah shrugged. "Management doesn't like to talk about it. They don't want to scare away customers." I felt a chill run down my spine. This Walmart was hiding something dark and malevolent. But I couldn't just walk away. I needed this job. So, I reluctantly agreed to finish my shift, promising myself that I would avoid the toy section at all costs. The night dragged on, and my unease only grew. I kept hearing strange noises, footsteps echoing in empty aisles, whispered voices that seemed to come from nowhere. Every time I turned around, there was no one there, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. As the hours passed, I couldn't resist the urge to investigate further. I had to know what was happening in this place. So, when the opportunity arose, I slipped away from my co-workers and made my way to the back of the store. There, in a dimly lit storage room, I found a collection of old employee files and records. It was a treasure trove of information, and I began to sift through it, searching for clues about the strange occurrences in the store. What I found sent shivers down my spine. There were reports of employees disappearing without a trace, of strange accidents that defied explanation, and of customers experiencing unexplainable phenomena while shopping. The incidents went back decades, and it was clear that Walmart had been hiding a dark secret. As I continued to read, I heard a soft, whispered voice behind me. "You shouldn't be here." I spun around, my heart pounding, and came face to face with a figure in a Walmart employee uniform. But this was no ordinary employee. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural, malevolent light, and its mouth twisted into a sinister grin. I stumbled backward, trying to escape, but the figure advanced toward me, its footsteps echoing loudly in the small room. "You've seen too much," it hissed, and I could feel its cold, clammy hand closing around my throat. I struggled to breathe, my vision fading as darkness closed in around me. In those final moments, I realized the true horror of Walmart, a place where the lines between the living and the dead were blurred, a place where secrets were buried, and where those who dared to uncover them met a terrible fate. And then, everything went black. When I awoke, I was alone in the storage room, my body battered and bruised. I stumbled to my feet, my mind reeling from the experience. I knew I had to get out of that place, to escape the clutches of whatever malevolent force lurked within the walls of Walmart. I made my way to the exit, my steps unsteady, and burst out into the cool night air. I never looked back, never returned to that cursed store. I left my job and moved far away, hoping to leave the horrors of Walmart behind me. But the memories haunted me, the twisted faces of the employees and the cries of the haunted child. And I knew that I would never truly escape the darkness that lurked within the aisles of that superstore. So, the next time you find yourself in a Walmart late at night, remember that you are never truly alone, and that the true horror of Walmart may be lurking just around the corner, waiting to reveal itself to those who dare to seek the truth.